Hi guys, it's Wednesday. Hope everybody had a great holiday weekend, and we're back today with classic rock. Now, a couple of episodes ago, we looked at some videos of what I consider three essential concerts: Woodstock, Live Aid, and The Last Waltz. Today we're going to kind of follow that up, looking at music from the Live Aid concert, tied in the same way with that benefit concert. They had some record releases that also went to aid famine relief in Africa. One of the first ones I picked up was this, which isn't quite a CD and it isn't quite an album. A lot of you are going to recognize it, some of you may not, but it is the classic 45. And they released a single version of the song We Are the World, written by Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie, produced and conducted by Quincy Jones. And this was as a fundraiser, again, for the famine relief. And it says on the front of this, manufacturer's suggested retail price $2.49 or less, so that's what it was going for. And you can see our classic 45 look with that gigantic hole in the center. I have no idea why they did that. I tried to look online to find out, and there's some conflicting stories. One was that it was done to help accommodate jukebox play. Another one was that because the speed was faster, when they had the smaller hole and it dropped on the spindle down onto the turntable, that hole would wear and cause a little bit of a wobble in the recording. And a third one, which to me sounds more realistic at this point, was that one record company was producing 33s with the small hole, and another company decided we're going to compete and not make the same thing that can be played on theirs. You have to buy our equipment, the larger hole, different speed at 45 instead of the 33 and a third. And again, this sounds very much like the old Betamax VHS situation where we kind of had an exclusive product and you had to buy our equipment to be able to play it. Now, whatever the case was, 45s lasted for a long time. And again, they were the main staple of the jukebox. So this one, $2.45 or less, and we got the song We Are the World, and then another Quincy Jones original on the other side. Now, also tied in with that, they did an album release. And the album was called We Are the World. And again, for the famine relief, suggested retail price here of $9.99 or less. So that's what we were paying for albums back in 1985. And this one had a number of other acts come in that donated songs that were going to be used on the album. We have Chicago doing the song Good for Nothing. Huey Lewis and the News did Trouble in Paradise. Steve Perry, If Only for the Moment Girl. Pointer Sisters, Just a Little Closer. Prince and the Revolution donated a song for The Tears in Your Eyes. Kenny Rodgers, A Little More Love. Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band did Trapped. Tina Turner did Total Control. And we have two songs that were actually fundraising songs. The USA for Africa, which were We Are the World. And just to give you some idea who was in that group, we had a lot of featured performers that would get a line or two of the song. They'd be in the chorus, and then we had some choral background or group singers. And here's an idea of who was on the USA for Africa. We had Dan Aykroyd, Harry Belafonte, Lindsey Buckingham, Kim Carnes, Ray Charles, Bob Dylan, Sheila E. and Bob Geldof, Hall & Oates, James Ingram, LaToya Jackson, Marlon Jackson, Jackie Jackson, and Michael Jackson. So a lot of the Jacksons in there. Al Jarreau, Waylon Jennings, Billy Joel, Cyndi Lauper, Huey Lewis and the News, Kenny Loggins, Bette Midler, Willie Nelson was there, Jeffrey Osborne, Steve Perry, the Pointer Sisters, Lionel Richie and Smokey Robinson, Kenny Rodgers, Diana Ross, Paul Simon, Bruce Springsteen, Tina Turner, Dionne Warwick, and Stevie Wonder. And they performed We Are the World. But also Canada had done a fundraiser on their own using Canadian musicians. And it was a song called Tears Are Not Enough, and it's included on this album as well. And the same kind of format. We had featured singers, individual lines or a couple of lines, and then a backing group of singers. And just to give you some idea who was on that recording, we have Bryan Adams, Corey Hart, Gordon Lightfoot, Joni Mitchell, Anne Murray, Neil Young, Oscar Peterson was there, and John Candy, who I'm going to say he's in the background singers. John didn't get a feature, unfortunately, but to give you some idea of the Canadians that were supporting the same cause. Now, In addition, this is not really a double album, but it was kind of a gatefold album. And I'll just show you some of the photos we had that came with this. It kind of documented this historic event. There's the cover shot, and you can see everybody in there. But inside the album, we've got a lot of different, give you some idea, we're looking at Springsteen, we got Paul Simon and Michael Jackson, Ray Charles is there, Stevie Wonder, Lionel Richie. Over here we got Bob Dylan in, we got Cyndi Lauper, Billy Joel, and Bruce Springsteen together. Joe Perry, Kenny Loggins, and Michael Jackson. Quincy Jones on the conducting. We've got Bob Dylan, Bette Midler, Kenny Rodgers in there with Springsteen and Lionel Richie. Lionel Richie, Cyndi Lauper again, Hall & Oates, Willie Nelson. I see Quincy in there again. We got Huey Lewis and Lionel Richie, and Stevie Wonder. So it was kind of nice. It had a lot of nice photos. There was some other promotional material they were doing at the time, again, to try and raise money. What a great album. It's a piece of history, again. It ties in very well with what we saw on Live Aid. And this is one of the rare times you get the two songs together, the ones from Northern Lights, the Canadian All-Stars, as well as USA for Africa. So that's just it for recommendation today. Kind of ties in with what we did a couple of weeks ago. Great song. Still stands up well. The video's online. A lot of these musicians still out there recording and performing. So, I mean, we're talking 35 years later, and this still stands up as a great package. So that's it for today. We'll see you on Friday when we're going to be looking at another performer, kind of like Lyle Lovett. They classified as country, but it's really so much more. We'll see you then. Until then, everybody stay home, stay safe, have a good week.